Hello everyone, welcome to your Yin Yoga practice. My name is Emily. Today we're going to be doing a practice using a wall. For me it's this lovely wall with this panel right here. It's my apartment and I have a lot of space. Whatever wall you have works just great. I'm on a mat. As always, you can use a towel even if your wall is up against a soft spot of carpet. That is totally great too. We're going to start in a supported staff pose. So as you're ready, take yourself up to your wall. And as you get there, you should feel all the points of your back really pressing into the wall. So from lower all the way up to upper back in your head and the back of your neck. Hands can rest onto your thighs or option to bring the arms down by your sides. Typically in the staff pose, you're pressing the hands into the ground to give you that little lift. But here we are supported by the wall, which is aiding you to sit up nice and tall. Take a couple rounds of breath together to ground into a practice. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Twice more, inhale. And exhale. Last time together, soft breath in. And soft breath out. Remember, in your yin practice, the breath is your choice. There's no assigned breathing style or rhythm. Sometimes we need a deeper breath, sometimes we need a gentler breath. You're never expected to become still right away. Each time we arrive in a pose, you have time to wiggle around to get comfortable before looking to find that stillness. Let's take 3 more breaths here in our supported staff, lengthening, stretching out your spine. And very softly let your spine come away from the wall just a little bit. Our next posture will actually be a counter pose to what we just did, which is our caterpillar. So legs can stay as they are. For caterpillar, I think it's important to know kind of the shape that you're heading into. Caterpillar is just a slight tuck of your chin to chest. It's just a little bit of spinal, spinal flexion. You're not looking to forward fold all the way. You're not ever looking for your belly to touch your thighs. It's not a seated forward fold. It's just that slight round of your spine. Start with your chin to your chest, and then as the minutes go by, you may find your spine softens a little bit more, but the goal is to round, not to forward fold. So as you're ready, let your head start to drop. You're looking for that 4 or 5 out of 10 in sensation. All the amazing benefits that we're soaking up from our yin practice are coming from holding our postures for longer. So it doesn't need to be your biggest, most amount of sensation. We're also not stretching our muscles. We are releasing and working through the tight fascia and connective tissue in our body. So slightly different focus than our other vinyasa and ashtanga and other lineages of yoga. Find 2 last breaths here in your caterpillar. And to come out of it very, very slowly, plant your hands onto the mat and walk your spine back up. Take a breath at the top. We welcome achiness, tenderness, wooziness as a part of our yin practice. It's not something to be afraid of. In yin, we feel the benefits and after effects of our postures immediately rather than the next day. Right, when you're ready, we will flip ourselves around to face the wall and we'll move into our inverted portion of our practice. We will be inverted on the wall for about 20 to 25 minutes. Know that you can always call it before that. Get right up to your wall. You'll want your seat as close to the wall as you can get. And mine has this lovely panel here. That's okay. You can always use what we have when we're at home. We're starting with legs up the wall. So send your legs up the wall and then start to roll out your wiggle, your ankles and your toes. Get some movement and circulation and blood flow. When you're ready, start to find that stillness. Hands can rest onto you. You might enjoy a goalpost of your arms, even reaching your arms up above. It's completely your choice. Being inverted has many, many benefits for our body. Some of which include a really good promotion of blood flow and circulation back to the brain. Helps us with our balance to literally switch up our view. Has good benefits for our hearts, and same as our first reason, promoting that great blood flow back to the heart, which typically has to do a lot of work to pump blood to all the parts of our body that are below us and above us. Any tingling that you feel is normal. That's all the fresh blood flowing back down your legs. Let yourself start to hang and breathe. Let's find one last round of breath in this particular inversion. Alright. For our next inversion, we'll be slowly moving into more of a straddle. Now, as for me, it's not going to be super wide because I don't have that much space. If you're on a wall that has a lot of space, you could take the legs out pretty far, but as the minutes go by, obviously the sensation there might increase, so it's your choice how wide you want to take it, but even a slight separation is completely fine. Take any time to wiggle and soften and witness that stillness when you're ready. 2 more breaths with your legs in your straddle. As you're ready, softly take your legs and maybe place your feet on the wall. Give your inner thighs a little moment. As you're ready, our next inverted position is a happy baby against the wall. So instead of having your legs in a V, this time you'll bend your knees, plant your feet, and as far as you want to take out your legs is really your choice. Same ideas as our last posture. You may not have a ton of space, or we just did a good bit of inner thigh, so if they're feeling like they need a little break, then you can bring the legs a little bit closer together. Basically take it to where you feel you want the sensation to be today. And just really no right and wrong with yin. Every shape looks slightly different on each of us. Your goals are not a perfect asana or physical practice. Your goals are stillness and peace and rest. We're in our last few moments of our supported wall, happy baby. When you're ready to move on, you can slowly draw your legs together to touch. Absorb any of that achiness, tenderness. We have one final posture with two sides, but one final posture where we'll use the wall. Do you recommend scooting away for this one? Moving into a supported figure four on the wall. So keep your left foot stamped onto the wall with your left leg bent. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Now, the purpose in scooting away is to create less sensation on the outer hip and glute. If you're here and you already know you would like a little bit more to get to that 4 or 5 out of 10 in sensation, you can scoot yourself closer. If you still would like a little bit less, you can scoot yourself back. Any distance that works for your body. Releasing your tight glutes and hips. In yoga practices, we often talk about the hips being a really sensitive space, and they are. A lot can be stored into our hips besides just tension from being a person and driving and sitting and everything. They have been known to store trapped feelings and emotions, things that can kind of bubble up unexpectedly when we enter a hip opener. Know that you have all the tools and all the power that you need to sit with anything that arises. Oftentimes it's nothing at all, it just feels tight. There's no right or wrong. It's just something to notice and witness. Remain in your figure four on this side for these last couple breaths. And when you're ready, we're going to straighten both legs out for a moment. Let that posture release. And then we'll find our final inverted wall posture of our class today. So, other side of your figure four, right leg is bent, right foot on the wall. Left ankle crosses over. Now with hips, notoriously sides can be pretty different with how they feel openness wise. So you may want to scoot closer. You may need to be a little bit further than your first side. Bodies are not perfectly symmetrical, unfortunately. Would be nice, but they are not. So giving this side anything different that it needs before you find your stillness. 2 last breaths on this side of your figure 4. When you're ready, start to release, maybe straighten both legs again. Right. We'll start to make our way off the wall. So depending on how close you are, you could just scoot back, or sometimes I roll gently onto one side. But we will be finishing on our back. I'm flipping around just for space purposes. But if you push yourself away from your wall, you can stay exactly where you are. We'll take one final posture before our Shavasana. We'll move into a supine twist. A lot of options with your twist today. I'll give them to you. So starting with your right knee into your chest, lengthen your left leg long. Option to take another roll of your ankles or wiggle of your toes. And slowly start to cross. Right knee over to the left side of your space. Personally, I like to scoop my left or bottom hip underneath me more. There's a lot of choices with the arms depending on the space that you have. And your right knee could definitely come down onto a prop, a pillow, a blanket. Nothing was required for today, but you're always welcome to use them anyway. To me, this is the most amount of sensation, the most amount of stretch for that right outer hip and glute, the more that you straighten the legs. If you're looking for a little bit less, just bend, stack your knees over to one side. Gazes up or opposite of the legs over to the right. Any spinal twist is a beautiful opportunity to rinse, to reset, to flush. So in this supine twist, what can you let go of? Past versions of yourself that no longer serve you. Mistakes that you have made in your life, as we all make very, very many. Expectations of yourself or people in your life, or how you thought your life should look. Can you open yourself up to a little more trust in the process, in the way of life, in your coming into your own? Growth does not have an age cap. You're always learning and growing, changing, and becoming. Let's twist for about 2 last rounds of breath. To come out, gently draw yourself to center. Let any feelings in your body settle. As you're ready, we'll find your twist on the other side. So, depending on the variation you chose, you may just take both knees bent over to the right side. If you had one leg straight, straighten your right leg, hug your left knee in. Maybe wiggle your toes. And then you'll cross the left knee over to the left side of your space. You're welcome to scoot your right hip underneath you slightly. I find personally the more that both legs straighten, the more sensation you feel. So it's really up to you on what you're looking for here on this side. Gaze is up or over to the left. Staying your twist on this side, these last 1 or 2 breaths. As you're ready, start to unfurl. Meet me back at center. Wrap yourself up in a big hug, knees to your chest. And as you're ready, sink, release, and melt into your final resting pose, Shavasana. Soak up these last few minutes that are all for you, for your breath, for your being, because you deserve it. Gently start to reawaken your body, coming back to your space. Wiggling your fingers or toes, or taking your head side to side. You, of course, can always stay in your Shavasana as long as you like, especially at home. If you have the beautiful benefit of not being disturbed by those around you. Open into a full body stretch. Sometimes I like to bend my knees to do so. And softly roll onto your right or left side for supported fetal position, a chance to be reborn and start anew. And slowly press yourself up to one last nice tall seat on your mat. Notice how you feel on this side of your practice, anything that has shifted mentally, physically, emotionally, or even just the pace of the world around you. Gather your hands together at heart center, thumbs to your third eye space. We'll seal out our class with a bell of gratitude for each other, for ourselves, this beautiful community and history that has brought this practice to us. Thank you for being here today. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. I hope you have a fabulous rest of whatever time of day it is for you, and I will see you next time. Thank you.